abduction situation is hitting a crisis point. We need to get a handle on it yesterday. On the ground presence on AC's farm. We need to rely on our top. Maybe you could bribe them with some supplies.
The two most impactful moments I've ever had in my career: the 2019 Fortnite World Cup win, and the day I got my own Icon Series outfit. There are 3 variants of my outfit. This looks exactly like me. They got the joggers on, the shoes, the hair, everything is perfect. You got the World Cup variant, which is super cool. All right, I'm spinning around real quick and look at the back. Wow, it looks just like the World Cup trophy. My dog, Zoe, in the trophy. Zoe, look, you're in the trophy. My pickaxes are dual-wielded. Zoe's printed into both of them. So the emote, this is really funny. So this is how it goes. Even after World Cup, I did this dance on the stage. I actually can't wait to get in game and play with this. This is so sweet. Another really cool thing is Bugha's late game. It is the first competitive all-out game mode.
helps you out. And without further ado, let's get right on into it. Alright, so we're going to begin in the Creative Hub. And the first thing in our practice routine plan thing is to do what Tayson does by loading up a free build map. I'm going to make one, and I suggest you guys do as well. I'm going to choose the Meadow Island. I'll rename it free build, and we'll just load it up. This is not really the average or normal free building you guys might do. You'll see why in a second. This is what your map should look like. It's literally literally what Tayson, 3 times FNCS winner, uses. Let me go to my island, and all I'm gonna do is make sure there's no time limit. I'll also change the time of day just to the afternoon so it's nice and bright. And we're gonna start. That's it. No weapons, no anything. Now most people probably think it's to get better FPS, but it's not. The whole reason you want to free build in such a blank and kind of basic, boring map is so you can focus not only on the builds, but on blueprint editing. Please tell me you all know what blueprint editing is by now. Whenever you go to edit a certain structure like a wall, you're gonna press your wall keybind. That way you have your blueprint out. You can do it from farther away, up close. If I was going to edit this ramp, I would press my ramp keybind. Now I can edit it. That's the basics of blueprint editing, and it's why Tayson's mechanics are so dang good. Rarely will you see him swap to your pickaxe, which I actually do a lot. It's a bad habit I'm still trying to break. And all you're going to do is practice random retakes, random editing sequences like I am. You're going to practice keys control, which Tayson does a lot. I always see him drop down, box, drop down again, box. Everything he does is made better solely because he's so good at blueprint editing. Like, just think about it. If you go and drop down on someone and you whip out your pickaxe like I just did, then you edit the wall and piece them up. That is one extra action that you did not need to take because you swapped to your pickaxe. You should just leave your blueprints out like that, box them up. There should be no swapping to your pickaxe. And like I've been saying, that's how Tayson wins so many fights. He's so good at piece control, straight up because he practices on a blank map with no weapons, only using his blueprints. I think Tayson does this for like at least an hour, which is probably a little overboard for a lot of you guys. I would suggest anywhere from 15 to maybe 20 minutes. I should probably do it a lot more. Again though, if you are used to free building with weapons and 1v1ing your friend, do not do that. Swap to this map, or at least create it yourself. Focus on blueprint editing, I promise you. Oh, I just whipped out my pickaxe. Focus on blueprint editing like Tayson does. That is the first step of my improvement guide. Yeah. Second part of the improvement practice routine, you will need someone else. What? Why'd you go in there? Anyways, you're going to load up Raiders 1v1 Aim Trainer. I'm pretty sure this is a new map. It's essentially an updated Aim Duels map, but it's really, really good. And there's actually matchmaking. If you do not have friends, I don't have many corpses. If you look for matchmaking and 1v1 other people, it's a really, really cool feature that most other game training maps do not have. I'm going to kind of go off of what the FPS winner does. Usually goes for 10k speed, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do 2k. Unlike the other Raider maps, the guns are not actually in like the lobby area. You have to shoot on one of these, and then that's where the guns are. The way this map is divided is there's box fight duels, there's the SMG tracking, the shotgun training, then there's the classic aim duels, which you guys all know. It's like a 1x1 cone, a 1x1 with no cone. There's also the ADS tracking AR section, which we will do. We'll start with shotgun flick training, 1x1 cone react. Oh, here we go. You basically, oh my gosh, you get pushed by bouncers. Oh my shotgun aim. And you have to flick onto your opponent. It's not like you can track them in the original aim duels, which is why I love this so much. I think Corpse's aim is worse than mine. I think I should win. Yes, sir! 600! You suck ass. Jerky will do that at 10k HP, like I said, and he'll do like 2 or 3 rounds of it because he's just a madman. I guess that's why he won FNCS. What I prefer is after the 1x1 cone react to do the 1x1 cone flick. That is this one, where you drop down from the top. Oh, this one you come out of a rift, so you're not pushed forward. Nice. I don't think these guys hit one shot. Oh! No! 150. Man, if any of that is too hectic, you guys can always do the normal classic aim duel, which I'll actually do for SMG tracking. This is pretty much the same thing, except you have an SMG, and you don't get thrown around as much. 1x1 cone, and we'll do gold P90. He does give you different options, like if you're using the pump, you can fast swap it, which means once you take a shot, another pump will come up. We're gonna do normal SMG, all about close range tracking. Like Raider said, this is the classic aim duels, what we all know. Oh no, I think this one is not looking good. I'm just too good. I am too good. Corpse sucks. You can do that 2 or 3 times. You can also do any of these. They're just longer range with the SMG. But what I do to finish are the 2 glider drills. So we'll do glider number 1. Pick up a blue AR, gold infantry. As you guys can see, all it is, glide, you little. You good? He can't even glide properly. There you go. Oh wow, that's not good. Your goal is to hit the person as many times as you can. Oh my, what is my aim? And then you become the glider. Oh no. Oh no. Aim for the red section, that's the safe zone. Cannot be serious, my brother. This is all AR tracking. Oh wow. That was glider number 1. Glider number 2 is when he's in front of you. Nice. This is really good for late game scrims when people are launch padding. I mean, even arena. Anytime someone is launch padding in the air, this is working on your ADS tracking aim. It's also working on your glider movement. He would be dead. Oh my gosh, he'd be so dead. Dead, dead, dead. This is not how you're supposed to do the drill. But yeah, that is the map. Use the shotgun section for your shotgun aim. The 1x1 cone react is really good. You have your ADS tracking AR, your SMG tracking, which I prefer to do in the classic.
As parents, we try to tailor the world for our kids. Okay, maybe this is too far.
Hey guys.
What's up guys, Jivin back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a lot of stuff related to W King. We're going to be going over good ways to engage in the fights, how to push people's boxes, when to disengage, how to engage in fights, how to rotate, how to handle third parties, and more. Before we hop into it, please consider using code JivinTV in the Fortnite item shop, or at least make sure you're using somebody's code because it helps us out a ton. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So for this video, we're going to be taking a look at a 17 kill win I got. This is a great game to look at because I was able to start and end a ton of fights really quickly, which is the goal when it's possible. So this first dude was in the alien zone of Holly, and when they're in that zone, usually their audio is kind of messed up, so they don't know exactly where they're getting shot from. So I just got a cheeky angle through the window and then cleaned it up outside afterwards. That was a good win at all. After that, I rotate over to Weeping, and I see somebody who sees me as well. So I started out by kind of feeling out the situation. I see them crank up over top of me. So in this situation, I went back the other way. I could have just built up straight to him, but I saw an opportunity to get him pieced up from this direction. After I get that big first shot, I just slip a ramp in their box with the Noah Raven phase trick, and he falls to his death. Ripper with his friend. Rotating some more, and I get shot up from his friend. They didn't hit a single shot at me, so I get up over top of them right away. And when they box up, I see they have nothing in their box, so of course I slip a ramp in there. A little mistake I made was reboxing up the left. You can see they have their right wall open, so if I were to take this more time with this play, I could rebox them on that side instead. Regardless, I just got on another one of their walls, did the same thing. They weren't putting anything in their box, so in that type of situation, I just keep putting ramps through their walls. This time their back wall was open, so I'm just rotating around their box until I get this cone over top of him and then get him boxed out the back. Little replay of the trick I used here. I see him building a ramp up and he has no cone over top of him. So by aiming my crosshair over his wall here, I'm able to get a cone over top of him and block off his momentum in that direction. When you block somebody on a ramp, usually they just turn around, so I got him boxed out the back, dodged his shot for the most part, and finished it quickly. So next up we have an interesting and important situation. So I was able to get this guy boxed because he was standing right up against my wall, right? But this fight was taking place in the center of the map. This part of the map is third party central. So before I even make moves on my opponent, I make sure to make a whole box around me so I can't get beamed. And then he traded pumps with me at the end, so I'm weak after finishing that fight. And I hear some footsteps starting to approach. So I get out the back and start healing up while I'm on the run, and I branch out to start this fight. When I'm starting with a health disadvantage, I want to make sure I have room to move, and I'm safe in my box. This is a more defensive fighting playstyle. I'm waiting for him to mess up, and as soon as I see an opportunity to strike, I do. So at this point I was really healthy because I was playing safe in my box, healing up, and now it's my time to attack. Once he drops down like this, I see his movement going out the side, so I just boxed up that side and it's a free fight. The important thing to note in that fight is that I knew exactly what to do. It was a little bit of a sketchy situation, but a lot of people don't know how to approach that type of fight. I stayed calm, I made it hard for the opponent to push me, and then once I got healthy, that's when I started looking for my opponent's weak points, and I struck back fast, caught them off guard with my defensive aggressive playstyle, and finished the fight. You just gotta stay calm in those situations, make sure you give yourself room to move and heal up, and that'll give you a better chance. So this next fight, I saw this dude building up really confidently, so I just do the same. I actually got a cone over top of him right here, but as soon as I did that, I heard a third party. So I just box up and branch out. The third party was literally just trying to cycle in my box right away, so I calmed down, I gave myself room to move, and to feel out the situation. Once I saw the third party box up down low, I went for a move on the top guy. I tried to get a quick box on the opponent, I got a little tag on him, went for his wall, and that's when I actually heard the third party from down low start to chop us out. As I expected, I was listening for that. So at this point, I drop down to a middle layer, and I'm just being very aware of what's going on around me. I'm looking for one of them to expose themselves, because both of them are probably looking for a free kill right here, and probably wouldn't expect me to be lurking on a middle layer. Sure enough, I got a big hit on this guy, and was able to finish that fight up fast when I took his wall here. However, whenever there's a third party around, you gotta be ready for them to third party immediately after the fight ends. So I didn't even spend much time looting, I just got out of there right away, branched out, and felt out the situation again. In this situation, I heard two other players start build fighting, and so I went up there to see if I could get a free pick. When you hear two people fighting on height, you can make a quick strike on them to see if you can get one really quickly. So I just went up there fast, tried to piece control one of them, and one actually tries to psycho me here, which I was prepared for. All I had to do was hit my shots because he literally jumped in my face. Free kill right there. However, I was trapped in a bunch of old builds, and like I just said, when you finish a fight when there's another player around, you gotta be ready for them to psycho, so I got out of there and reboxed. Notice how all of these fights I'm starting in my own box, nice and safe, trying to read the situation. This is a good way to kind of scout it out and see if there's any free opportunities to strike. In this situation, I don't really see a safe opportunity to fight, mainly because my mats aren't the best, so I just get out of there and farm up a bit. Once I get my brick back to the max, that's when I'm able to start looking for a fight again. I hit a launch and I'm scouting out the area. I see two people fighting, kind of isolated from everybody else. That's an important factor to keep in mind when pushing up to a fight. If it's isolated and there's nobody else really around it, you have a chance to end that fast before more people show up to the fight. And in this situation, when I showed up, they kind of both just split from each other, so I just tried to take them out as fast as possible, one at a time, and I was able to do that. Both of these players seemed really scared of the third party, which made it pretty easy for me to clean it up, because as soon as the third party showed up, they both kind of just disengaged from the fight, so it was kind of like two separate one-on-one box fights. Next fight was super sketchy though. So I roll up to this bush, there's somebody in it, okay, that's fine. But at first when I get him piece controlled here, I don't set up the best right hand peek when going for it, so he deals a lot of damage to me. I disengage, I heal up, and I go right back at him. Now here's a chance if you're in late game like this, and you're in the center of the zone like we are, don't start build fighting because you're gonna get fried. There's people all around you with eyes on you, and this is not the fight to take. So I ended up just disengaging from that, and obviously he's going to follow me up because he has a major health advantage. And so I just start tunneling, playing in my builds, looking for cheeky angles. kills, and eventually I deal some damage, get him to go heal, and then I just disengage more from the fight. Lesson learned, don't build fight in the zone unless if you're gonna do it in a safe way, protecting your angles. So after that mess of a fight, I just take time to get healthy again so that I can start another fight. This one was just absolutely free, not really sure what was going on there, but we'll take it. Following that free little fight, I just boxed up and read the situation a little more, tried to see where I could push, and then I push over this guy who's boxed up, and I push over in a safe way. And then I hear them fighting on low ground, and I show up right as they finish fighting to get a free kill. If you ever hear people in a box with each other just spraying each other like crazy, that's a free kill as long as if there's not another third party around. Because if somebody else is planning to jump in, you're not going to want to be trapped in all of those builds when the fourth party shows up. All in all, that was a good fight to take, and we start looking for another. So I managed to find somebody that's hiding in these builds, and so check how I push now. This is the best way to push a boxed player. As you can see, I have a cone in front of his wall, a wall in between me and his box, so if he edits on me, I can reset that wall. He ends up going for a peek here, I take a shot and reset my wall to block his, and then when he resets his metal, I go for that wall right away. That's the best way to push a box in late game. He ends up getting away with this launch pad, but I go up into the builds to search for him because I know he's up there somewhere, and it's all fully built brick and metal, so it's not likely to get chopped out. I managed to find him and hit him with the classic Noah Rayleigh rampage trick, fire out the side. He had nothing in his box, so I slip a ramp in there, get off to his side where I predict he's going to edit out, and just get ready to pre-fire him when he edits out that side. Works like a charm. Next fight was sketchy as poop, man. This guy was a psycho. I was box fighting him.
Here, Satan. Oh my god.
I was so sad that I just tried to start fragging out on the back of the zone. So I was trying to get an angle on this dude, and I actually took his wall. But
Oh my god, man.
Through this game, dude, until he just dies through the storm. At this point, I just
Idiot, man.
so I just gotta play smart here, and
See?
so I just quickly launch to the front side of zone, look for opportunities to hold the opponents. However, one launch is ahead of zone, and so I just start to look for a play because
Cool,
I need a
boo.
refresh.
I'd have won
I'm
that
just gonna
game,
limit
man.
The amount of mats I have, so I had gotten some good damage dealt to this guy, so I'm trying to get in, but he keeps tunneling away, so I don't want to cycle all the way through his builds because he's just going to be waiting for a pre-fire at some point. So I reposition on this player, the other one's just on height, doing nothing, and I'm able to get so I'm pushing up here, and then I don't get his wall first, I get to a hurry. I'll see the upside, fire him wall places the wall, and then I'm able to just jump in and get perfect fight right there. At this point, I have a crazy amount of mats, so I just full on go play the guy on high ground and hit him with a stylish spin. Hopefully this helps you guys understand a little bit better how to use those fights in the game. Really just gotta point out the other players and make sure you're analyzing the situation. If this helps you out, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the video, use code Jackson, and contact the guys in the video.
Skatten mir. What? Vamos, tá? Eu quero aceitar, eu preciso do final.
What's up guys, Jack is back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be letting you guys get inside my mind on how I was able to frag out in 2 stacked arena lobbies. My goal is to help you understand how to get more kills in arena and how to rotate while fragging in stacked arena games. Before we hop into it, please consider using code JAVINTV for the item shop. It helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So in the first game here, I landed pretty safe. If I'm ever having a rough day landing at POIs that can steam me or whatnot, I'll switch it up and go somewhere low-key like this. When I saw this guy pushing from Patty, I launch padded all around the lazy because I didn't want to fight since I didn't have shield. I got chased at lazy and then helped set up this guy. So that was everybody at lazy. At this point, this is a game. I'm trying to get deep into the zone so I'm not stuck on the here. However, while I was rotating, I'm getting pushed, so I just tried my confidence. The goal of the game fight is just to hit it as fast as possible before third targets can show up, and that's exactly what I did. Let me tell you how I was able to keep control of that. So I started the fight off really strong here, right through this white throw cone, and then editing a window in one of the walls and placing a cone on top of it. Once I got that cone on top of him, I wanted to get to his side as fast as possible to try to get an angle. I got that nice quick shot on him, and then you can see the wall on the left side is missing in his box. So I box out that side because I know that's the way he's gonna go. And I just had to get my shot to clean it up. Because I cleaned that fight up so fast, I was able to rotate into the zone. While I was rotating, I noticed some people fighting over here, and a lot of people's first instinct is to push back. So the reason I didn't push is because I saw some people fighting already. I knew that their parties were gonna roll up, and I actually already saw a third party rolling up. So I wanted to take the fight in each part. Since I got there so early, I figured there wouldn't really be any third parties, which there really wanted to. But the person that I fought there was cracked, and the fight went on from when I had 1,500 mats to when I had like 100 mats, so I went on for so long. So that made my team into complete shambles. Let's check out this fight real quick before we go into the shambles laning. So for most of the fight, we were just building without really getting much damage dealt to each other. So I just skipped most of that. At this point in the fight, we were both weak, we were both low on mats, and so I just went for a nice play here. We were just so sneaky. So right here at this point in the fight, we both knew we needed to do something. I took this risky shot, but I ended up winning the trade. And I tried to pre-fire his peak from this floor edit that he made. Since I knew he was one-shotted, I might have been able to finish it, but I didn't. And then right here, I knew he had just reset the wall, so I sprayed through it because I knew he was healing it down. And I didn't want this fight to go on any longer, or else people would think it was just over. So then I figured it would make a peak, so I reset my wall and just sprayed through it, and I was able to get that last shot. That was crazy. Just almost that fight, and knew I needed to shoot him, so I thought it was down low. And when he takes this wall here, I tried to get out, but I needed to refresh, and I was able to take a good shot. I was bopping weak like I was playing handball, and I really was up with this last piece of play. I saw him turn to the side, and he didn't have this wall yet, so I slammed it, and I got that wall and fight with it. So I've been working on WP recently, so I just immediately tried to go and take another fight, but this one got me super weak, and this is where the shit starts. Because after I got weak there, I got stuck in second, and stayed for a solid minute or two, and I had no max after that. I gave up the cabin, but I still wanted that. Luckily, this zone was situated in Pleasant Park, so I just started farming buildings until I had enough max where I could actually make a play in the game. So once I got a good match, I just got situated on edge of zone, and then once the next zone appeared, I instantly got ahead, situated myself over there, and I got fried out of the sky, and then got psychoed by literally everybody around me until I had hardly any mats left. I made a last-second launch pad lane out of there, faced off, and then somebody else started pushing right away. At this point, I only have one build, and so right away I tried to get a deep shot on the opponent to get the pressure on me, but I didn't connect. So I tried to get out of there, realizing I had no build. I remember I wanted to go for a really risky play. The reason it worked is because he thought I had edited out the back, and the element surprise is so good at Fortnite. So he was taking off guard when he jumped in his face, and then I got this great match that went on the side and killed him. So I finally got him and just cycled into his spots. As he was healing up, I was already full health, so I had a health advantage. But I was able to take his wall first try and get that kill. And then I just gotta use this launch pad that I got earlier to head of zone and complement it to get that white health back. Right as the next zone starts, I immediately start my rotate. I try to stay ahead of zone that way. By staying ahead of zone, you save so many mats because you don't have to full tunnel your way to zone. You don't have to worry about people spraying at you from ahead. I heard them fighting, that's why I turned around here. And it's just a 1v1, so I immediately get that player pressured. I could have placed a raid over top of the here to protect him. Full box, I wanted to get a shot at him. Turns out he was healthier than I thought, and if he max damage with the cat. So not looking that great on my end, but I got a feel of what kind of player this guy was during that play. I was just gonna head towards the big picture. And so I used my ability and tried to let him head towards me and take the shot from the side. I didn't have any match, which is why I was playing so safe with him while he was just headed towards the ground like crazy. And this is what happened. Exactly. I got lucky then because I let him waste all his mats. So main thing was for that game, try to avoid fights off spawn in don't have a shield or a shotgun. I always try to get shield and a shotgun before fighting. Also in mid-game flanking, try to avoid fighting at the edge of zone because that's going to be a shambles fight where lots of third parties approach. And lastly, if you're shambles flanking, take time to try to guard mats until you have enough max to make your play into the approach. And of course, stay ahead of zone. What's up guys, Chadman back with another video. So yesterday was the first solo catch up of the season, and so in today's video I'm going to be breaking down everything I learned in the first week. We're going to be going over all the solo catch up meta stuff, such as rotations, taking high ground, some mind plays that can win the game, whether you should be keying or not keying, and how you can improve for next week. Before we get into it, please consider using the ChatGPT's item shop. It really does help me out a ton. Without further ado, let's get into this video. First off, I just want to say sorry the quality isn't the best. The recording got messed up, so I just took it from the screen, which is low quality. Also, to start off with the first game, should we the answer is it can really work either way. There were lots of top placing players that use their first game, and a lot of top placing players that do not. So what I recommend is just play off your strengths. If you're not the best W keyer and catch ups, then that's fine. Just play for consistency. Try to get top 5 every game, catch 2 dubs, and you can still earn money. I, for one, am not the best here when it comes to catch ups, but something to keep in mind is after all of my games were over, I still had 3 extra games. So I could have easily W keyed my first game and had tons of extra games at the end. So next week I might go for a W key game to start it off. Overall, though, you're gonna want to play for 60 points because 30 points for a win, that's just crazy. You've got a 30 kills, 54 1 win, so getting those wins definitely love that. If you struggle to make it to the lot in the turn, I have a couple pieces of advice for you. First piece of advice is work on your drop slot. Something to keep in mind is that a lot of outskirts spots are actually really contested during catch ups, which you probably realized this first week if you were landing with an outskirts spot. The reason is everybody has the same mindset. You gotta play safe, you gotta make it a late game because this tournament is plays to finish. So a lot of people end up just going outskirts spots, and a lot of POIs are actually less contested during this. So one tip I have for you is that you can either high drop an outskirts spot with this team, is pull out your glider early to an outskirts spot that has a lot of different locations nearby, and then that way you can kind of see where everybody around you is landing, and you can
Hello. I'm going to talk to Elena, but I can talk to you. No, just now, but I'll be 5 minutes and sitting on my sister there. So, I'll phone you when I'm in. I know, I finished earlier, but just doing it until the phone comes back in. I don't know how long to be. You just put your after it and I'll land it.
I'll be 3 minutes, please.
I know. Just staying closer. I've been live for ages. No once was a ship that put to sea that was
from there based on where the other players are. This is actually what I did. I just landed high over Holly hedges, and if Holly was really contested, I would dip out of there and go to an outskirts spot nearby that I saw was uncontested. But when I saw Holly contested by only one person, I would land on the opposite side of that player. If you say he lands on the north side of Holly, I'll land on the south side, and I would split Holly with that other player, and then dip out of there before I have to fight them. Because my goal was to rotate early, avoid fights, and set myself up for late game every single game, and it worked. The reason I didn't place too high in this tourney was simply because I hadn't placed too high for a while. I haven't scrimmed it all this season, but I made it to end.
You driving? Right, what if you join them with them at
Hello.
zone is gonna pull, get there before even
You
first zone
want a
closes,
sharply?
and then you just chill there and keep pulling zone over and over. You'll
Cool.
be big, chilling.
So now if you want to watch me, you need to go into my live stream.
Zones is if I see it pulled really far in one direction, usually it's gonna pull in that direction again. So I base myself up. Say the zone pulls far to the north, I'll base up on the
Aye.
northern side of the map. And almost all of these games, I pulled first, second, third, and fourth zone simply by using this prediction method.
What?
Also, if the zone pulls straight to the center of the map, then usually it's going to pull to the center again. That's kind of how zones work in Fortnite.
I
It's
can,
not a
but I don't
perfect
really want
map,
to.
But you can pull zones like, I don't know, 5 times out of 6 if you do this method. And
Thought you
if
said
have
you
a
went
car
with-
next to you and zone doesn't pull to you, you just hop
Really?
back in your car and get to the center of
Zach?
the second zone.
Said you went
know
with
what I mean?
Zach.
So that's how I made it to late game pretty much every single game. Just by rotating early,
He was what?
predicting zone rotates, and planning my next rotate ahead of time. For example, in
Well,
the
if you
third
want to
game
watch me,
here,
you're going to
notice
need to
how
go on
I was
YouTube
spaced
and
up
watch
on
me,
the edge of
because
zone.
I'm not
I
into
stayed
my
in
live
this box
stream.
for 2 whole zones. Even though zone pulled far, I didn't rotate immediately. I was waiting
What?
to hit this launch pad and fly to the center of the next zone. I had
Turn-
planned this rotate
and
out
you
ahead of
can
time.
turn it
There
down
were
a
lot
bit,
of
but
players
'cause I'll
around
hear
me, so I was
myself.
being patient with it. I was waiting until I
Okay,
saw
so
a free
if you want to hear the
opportunity
audio
hit it,
in game.
and then I had a perfect rotate to the center of the zone. And then sure enough, I pulled the next like
Cool.
3 zones straight.
I
to
can't
So
be
let's take a
bothered
look
going
at
on
this
the
game
keyboard and
because this
mouse.
was the
I've
one
just
game
went
that
back
I
to
won. I played this one
controller.
out really smart, so
I've
let's
not
break
played it in
down.
about
And then
3
we're gonna get into
weeks.
some ways that you can learn from your own Cash Cup experience to improve.
I was
next
at
week.
Juniors like
So
a
in the
week,
first
2
week
weeks, a
down
week or
here,
2
I was
weeks
just
ago.
staying ahead. I knew I had a launch pad, but zone pulled in a pretty safe
Stay
direction
there.
for me to rotate by foot, so I did that.
But we're
and
at
saved my
Spittle,
launch
and
pad for
it was
later.
the day
I
that
took
you
a
were
little
there.
storm damage, getting perfect positioning here, and then somebody actually pushed me from above, and there was no reason for me to take that
Yeah.
fight because I still had a
Yeah.
launch pad and decent mats.
That's when I was
so
playing
just
PUBG and I
rotated
got
away
like
from that
7
guy.
wins in a row.
Next zone pulled far away from me, and I still had this launch pad, so I just decided to look for a safe place to launch. I made sure to check my top before using
Is it,
it.
am I
saw the
just
screen and
landing?
hit it.
I know.
So at this point, I'm on front edge of zone in a good place to look for a refresh. I go for
No,
a
I'm
play
not.
from above on this guy, but it didn't really work out.
Yeah,
Lucky for
it's
me,
a
I
spot.
saw some loot next to
I
me.
get like
When
1
you
or 2
lose
players
late
conned
game
at
like this,
the
you
end of
wanna
the
make
boss
sure
and
you
like
lock your
7
angles
players
while trying to get it.
conned at
So
the
I just
start.
got what I could, and then I just immediately continued my rotate in, blocking
Cool.
my back while also conserving mats. Doing this floor ramp method is really good. If you can get to the front edge of zone and just do floors and
I
ramps,
guess
that can save you a lot of builds. And then again, we look for a quick refresh once we get into the
Yeah,
zone.
I
Because
don't know.
once you get down
Oh
to like
no, there's
300,
3.
200
I
builds,
can't
something
even
like that,
land.
you want to be looking for a refresh right away. This
Tack.
was the one mistake of the whole tournament. I wasn't paying attention enough to my mats. This is most likely because I haven't run any scrims all season. But next week, every single late game, I'm just going to be reminding myself to check my mats like crazy. Lucky for me though, I played this really well with no mats. I broke into a safe part of this guy's tarp here on the left and just played sneaky on the back edge of zone.
Yeah,
I had a chug cannon so I could take some storm damage. And I was able to just jump this guy, and I had that tack.
What?
That tack is nasty in late game, man. I gotta get moving right after I get that kill, so I just healed up with the chug and then
There's
swapped
not
mine
many
for his,
splits
and
now.
gotta move on.
I mean,
While was
I
ranking
just
up here, it was
got
a little bit
5,
sketchy.
I just got
should've
like 10
gone
kills
to
in a
the
game,
right
but
another box,
my
but I got
mum
the
needed
50-50
upstairs
with
because she
this
was
guy. I had the
outside,
tack, so I was
so
able to win
I
that,
couldn't
even though
finish
I
the game
whipped
and I
so many
died and
shots. That's
when
one
I
of
was
my
in a
biggest
box.
issues, bro. When I'm in late
But I
game,
just
my
kept
shots
piecing
get
people
so
up.
flaky. I just gotta keep my cool.
Maybe, I
You're
don't
the
know.
same way. We just gotta get better at breathing in late game, man. It's all about keeping composure and maintaining that adrenaline, basically. Anyways, I was able to rotate around all these builds, get to the front edge of zone with so many mats.
Where am I
And
now?
I
In
had
one of the
5 launch
houses in
pads.
retail?
If you have a launch pad this late in game, you have good mats.
Yeah, man, it's
you
just
need
a
to
bit
launch the
delayed.
height. And that's what I did here. I looked straight up, made sure there was nothing blocking me, and then I was able to take high ground from these guys. I played confidently because I knew I had a lot of mats. And once I got high ground, it was basically a GG's, man. High ground is so OP in solos because everybody else is shambles on low ground fighting it out. But if you're on high ground, you're just straight chilling while everybody else is in the chaos. Main thing is, if you're on high ground in late game like this, don't drop down. I dropped down for a second, but then I was like, what am I doing? I'm going to go back up. 6 points for a dub. I don't even care about the kill, bro. And so he just ended up dying in storm. Free W for me. Let's go, baby. So yeah, that was my best game of the tourney, but now we're going to talk about how you can improve for next week. The first thing is you want to identify where in your games were you going wrong. Whether it be dying off spawn a lot, dying in mid-game a lot, or dying early on in the late games. Once you identify which one of those was your problem, you want to figure out how you can work around that for next week. Figure out a plan that can help you overcome it. For example, if you're dying in early game a lot, maybe it's your drop spot. Maybe you want to try out some of the stuff I was talking about earlier on in this video, such as rotating early with cars, high dropping at a location that has a lot of different loop paths around it. That way you can find an uncontested drop spot, or just center in and practice in arena and scrims one drop spot specifically, and just keep practicing it over and over again throughout the next week so you're ready for the next cash cup. If you're dying in mid-game a lot, perhaps it's your positioning. See if you're positioning yourself in bad spots, such as on edge of zone, rotating a little bit too late in the game, and study the mid-game fights that you lost. See how you could have done better in the next fight, and practice in arena a lot with your mid-game fighting. And then if you had trouble in late game, just like I did, study your late games and see how you could have rotated better. Maybe there was some lack of awareness going on, such as a lack of attention to your mats, a lack of attention to where players are around you. Stuff like that can help you get better for the next week. And then the last biggest thing that'll help you out for next week is VOD Review, a pro that did well and posted their highlights on YouTube, or maybe they have stream highlights that you can go watch on Twitch. I'm going to be VOD reviewing pros before every single cash cup for the rest of the season. I'll be posting my VOD reviews of them on YouTube. I did it last season and you guys seem to like it a lot, so we'll keep that going this season as well. Now, last part of this video, I'm just going to VOD review 2 of my late games. That way you guys can kind of get an understanding of how to do it yourselves. So first off, in this late game, what I did wrong was landing on high ground here. It was a complete accident, but I should have avoided that by flying a little bit more wide. When I landed on late game with that low amount of mats and low HP, I really left myself no options. But if I would have landed on front side of low ground, I would have had better opportunities to look back for kills, get refreshes, and maybe even pop the medkit. So in this next late game, this is where my tournament kind of took a downfall. I was in such a great position to win this game. I had max mats going into the first moving zone on front side. But I left myself on a terrible lair. I was all the way on front side, we were going right towards the building. I should have simply gone over top of the building. My first instinct was to run right into it and go through it. I thought that'd be the safest option, but there were so many players around me that I never had a chance to break into the building, and then I got trapped. If I went to my left, right, above, below, there were players on all sides of me. So I could have simply avoided this by going up a few layers to start this rotate. There was no reason for me not to because I had so many mats. So yeah, I should have planned that rotate a little bit better when I saw we were going right into a building. I should have gone up because I was on front side of zone. So yeah, that's the general idea. You know, you want to find big mistakes that you made that could have made a difference in your late games. And then for early and mid game, it's just the stuff I talked about before. Hopefully this video helps you get on the right track for your cash cup next week, gives you some confidence going into it. Just got to remember that these cash cups are all for fun, all for improvement. The reason I
don't know about arena.
It's just to improve my game.
And then I don't know about arena, but I'm trying to get arena points at the same time.
Or maybe even World Cup. But hopefully this video helps you out. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that
like
like
you
button,
going?
subscribe if you're new. Use code JIVINTV.
I don't know.
Next one. Peace.
If you want to go and train now and tell me once you get a bit better, I can play arena. So go and do a bit of training and warm-ups.
What's up? How you doing, everyone? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of
Oh, I'm getting keyed.
Ultimate Team Road to Glory. Finger points to the sky. Those of you that always ask me, what do you see when you look up to the sky there, Tom? I mean, it's just a ceiling fan with a broken...
He's got a purple shotty. And he's dead after gold spaz.
I think you were pleasantly surprised. Love it. Well done, guys. We have a showpiece.
I've just got a gold spaz off this guy.
Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 17, and today's episode is powered by my sponsor Elgato Gaming and the HD60S capture card, the key lights and the green screen that I'm using to film this video for you today. If you are an aspiring content creator, then look no further than
2 minutes and try to change this YouTube video that I watch FIFA.
Where you can learn more about them. So,
guys, it has been so long since I made a controller settings video, much less something this in-depth that I'm going to be doing in today's video. I'm going to be showing you what controller I use.
Is that inflatable ball good?
That and why I use this controller over other controllers. I'm going to talk about my binds, I'm going to talk about my settings, and lastly, we're going to be talking about what software I use on my PC to run my game better and get less input delay on my controller. We're going through everything, so stick around. It's your bro Rody. Let's get right into it. Okay, so first up, you guys probably already know this, but I
34 damage.
Now, I haven't showed this one in a video yet.
Mine does 34 damage. I'm done with this game, man.
And we're going to be talking about this is, well, they're paddles.
This is why you don't take pumps anymore. I'm not picking up a single gold pump again. I'm not picking up a single gold pump until it does 200 damage to the head. Not 34.
If you're going to order an aim controller, do not get the PS5 controller with white thumbsticks. They didn't make these thumbstick casings right, so dust gets in there really easily, and you get stick drift really, really fast, and stick drift isn't covered on their warranty, which really, really sucks. Oh my gosh, bro!
I'm not using a pump again. I'm only using Turks. I see the game. Nah, see with the game where I got 5 kills, no 10 kills. Every single kill was a pump, no attack. I had a blue tack, and it was doing 100 to the body. 100 to the body, and that's what a gold shotgun's supposed to do. Specifically a gold pump. I knew I shouldn't have taken the gold pump out of the blue tack.
Software around 1 millisecond of input delay, which puts you on par with like mouse and keyboard players. Elite controller, they have way worse input delay, so you're at a huge disadvantage on controllers like that, and even PS4 controllers as well have more input delay. So this is the best controller in terms of input delay, which I think gives you a huge advantage. Now, another reason I use this controller is the 4 paddles. It's one of the only PS5 4-paddle controllers. It might be the only one. It was the only one when I bought them. I'm not sure if there's a new controller out there now. Actively looking for a better controller. This controller is not perfect, and it has a lot of problems. There's not a single good controller on the market besides the Astro C40, and that's only 2 paddles. So I guess more like it, there's not a single great 4-paddle controller. They all have their own problems, they all have whatever, and it really, really sucks trying to find one. So if you guys know of one better than this one, let me know down below. But another cool thing about this controller is it has digital tap triggers and bumpers, so basically it makes building really easy because all
they're going to team that default skin now in the one with the pink and black on. They're going to team look at them.
And all of that good stuff. So in my opinion, that's another thing that makes this controller one of the best on the market. I love the way that the digital
Season it.
on this controller, and then when you do the input delay and the 4 paddles as well, in my opinion,
I've got
the best controller out there right now when it's actually working, which sucks to say. To show you guys even more about the aim controller and why I think it has some problems, I actually recorded me taking one of them apart, so here that is. We're going to be opening this up so that way I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about with the problems with the aim controller's design, but also I'll show you guys stuff that I like too. What kind of sucks about the aim controller, right? They market it as you have lifetime warranty, but that's for everything besides stick drift. I've had a massive problem with stick drift because when you turn the stick all the way this way, there's a little opening there, and what happens with that little opening is dust and just, you know, hair, whatever, gets into that opening, and I found that you get stick drift pretty quickly on this. It's easy to fix because it's something as simple as like dust in there, so you just have to open the controller up, clean out that dust, and then the stick drift goes away for like another month or so. But the problem is there's a warranty sticker right there that you have to take off, so all of a sudden, you know, they're not going to repair your controller because you had to fix the stick drift, which they don't control with their warranty. So before we get to the sticks, I kind of want to talk about another problem I've had with the aim controller, and it's these bottom 2 paddles right here. I've never had a problem with these top 2. I've had these bottom paddles double tapping a lot, and I'm not sure if it's because, you know, maybe they're just really sensitive, so sometimes I accidentally double click them, but sometimes in the past, it felt like I would click it once and it would press twice. And the reason
This guy's got a shotgun.
I'm pushing that, and that is not moving at all because I used epoxy all around this button, and now it doesn't move at all, and it actually works without double tapping. But it just kind of sucks if you don't have that on there. Now that I've talked about the bad with the controller, I gotta go through my binds for you guys. So we'll start off talking about these paddles right here. The upper one right here, top right, I have bound to right on the D-pad. So that is right on the D-pad, and this left one I have as left on the D-pad. So it's pretty simple. Left one, left D-pad, right one, right D-pad, and then this one's A. So my bottom left one is A, and my bottom right one is B. So jump and then B, and we'll go through the binds real quick so I can show you guys that in game on what that translates to. I'm gonna hide my webcam so you guys can see everything. Let me go through this really quickly. So you can see that edit is actually my top left paddle on the back. Pickaxe is top right. I really love having toggle pickaxe on paddle and edit. Those are two of the things that you actually do a lot, and toggle pickaxe is so
I hate the game when someone has blue tack and you have a
There was
deagle.
this one trick that I heard about where if you put edit hold time down all the way to 0.10 and then you have this bound switch mode / edit on something you don't use, apparently it makes editing faster. I'm not sure if that actually works or not. I just did it because I had nothing on here anyways. But then let's go to my other paddles. We have switch mode as O, my bottom right paddle, and then X as jump, which is my bottom left. I'm not going to talk about build controls too much. This is very, very standard. Edit controls, again, pretty standard, but I use
Oma Uganda ekibanza esikyerera mbere nawo. Leno munabwire erisomana lyabashubu.
Alright guys, we are at 5,045 points in Arena. That means we have 55 points to go until we hit champs. I'm going to be playing on console. We got the Elite 2. I haven't used this bad boy in a while, but again, I like the Elite 2's design. This thing just kind of is a potato on PC and breaks pretty easy, so that's why I'm upset with Microsoft. But we're on the Xbox Series X next-gen console. We got to be using this controller. We're going to be trying to get all the way up to 6,000 points. It's your bro Rody. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. What are you even doing here if you haven't? And let's get right into it. Game 1 right here was actually absolute fire, but I gotta warn you guys, something got messed up with the audio. I swear, every time I play on console, something goes wrong with the recording. So just hang with me and my boy Jari. We're gonna try to do as much as we can with this edit, but I'm pretty sure the audio for the game is gonna be delayed the entire video. Bruh, what was your game plan? Can we talk about it? Bro, wait, where did that shield bar go? Oh, that was off. That was ugly. Double edit. Ladies and gentlemen, we are playing the little Easter Cup. It's Jiven and I once again, and what we're doing, we're alphaing Lazy Lake every single time. We're trying to play like Scented, Commandment, and Edgy. So basically, we're gonna alpha or drop every single time. Then mid-game, we're really gonna try to just focus on positioning. Not a lot of fights in the mid-game. And then going into end-game, we're gonna try to dominate low ground just like they do by staying ahead of zones. So the goal is to play as similar to them as possible. And luckily, this tournament is very, very placement heavy. I got a shoddy ritual. We could probably sandwich this good. I think I got one boxed here. Can you go up there? Yeah. One on me, white. Dead. Nice. Woohoo! Let's go! We're not playing the level of players we played in that, like, champs only tournament. I don't think anybody else came here, did they? Oh, baby, Jiven, I got some peppers. It's gonna be perfect for low ground later, baby. Let's go! So the next step in our plan, Jiven, we just loot this up, then we smart rotate with a car, probably mid-zone, and we're chilling. Okay, there's a team up at the AI. Alright, we rotate. Smart rotate now.
Give me a shotgun. Oh, here we go again. Not a single shotgun we're going to get.
I had to get out. This is not good. Cracked one, 36 white. Not on that one, not on that. 36 white on that one, too. Dead. Dead. Alright, we gotta get out of here. We gotta focus. Positioning, We got our car still. If you can get to me. Now we're going zone. Look at us. It's like Scented. Look how smart we are, bro. FaZe is signing us next. At the bridge. At the bridge. Oh, we're so smart, dude. Oh my gosh, I can't get over how smart we are. This. Look at this base. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Shredded. No shield. Oh, dude. 140. He's just sitting out of the bush. 160 in the
Blue
bush.
tack.
We should focus our rotate.
Blue tack from the chest.
I can't get out of the taxi. I just drove it into the zone. Oh, you want it? No, we gotta play low. I just wanted to get the refresh. Here it is. Yep. Nice. That's what I wanted. Front side, baby. I'm following you. Put her back, locked up. Nice. They're
Oh,
back.
what?
Yeah. Blue. Coming back, coming back. Let's just stay front side. Cracked in there? Dead. I'm completely taking over low. One shot. Dead. Nice. Yeah, he's staying ahead. I'm in a really bad spot. No. One shot. I need you to be out of here. Nice. Dead. You're the best. Alright, I got the kill on 115. Nice. In my butt. Weak. Box. I'm out of mats. Nice. Go. I'm ahead. Oh, I'm not out of mats. I mean, out of ammo. You're so good, Jiven. Let's go. He's all the way up. I got height on him. He's one. Let's go, baby. Woo! Good game, Scented.
Game 2, I think we're gonna win.
You want me to go on top? I'm going on top select. Get in. That's my cone. Dead. I'm building for you. 116. 20. I have no ammo. Ooh, we're dumpstering on him here, bro. Dumpster.
Never just need damage. The thing change to boss. I just need a boss lever, sniper, and a boss tack, sniper, minis and big pot. I might need to end SharePlay because I'm sitting on 43, no, on live stream give you a SharePlay because I'm sitting on 43 pounds. And everything will be live. Yeah, I'm going to end stream, but I'll send you a share.